Go ahead.
All right, my topic for this week's episode of our lovely show is worst world title reigns. And we're just going to do this as an open forum. List off whatever ones you want to list off. We'll talk about them a little bit, and we'll stick and move from there. And, I'll bring one to the table to start. I mentioned this one at the beginning to you, off air. Mm-hmm. The WWE ECW title reign of one Paul Wright, the Big Show.
I don't remember much about that title reign, other than that there was a ladder match involving Ric Flair. That might not even been in the title reign, for the record.
You know what you should remember about that? He was the world champion at that god awful fucking December
to Dismember. Oh God, he was.
And he was fucking Paul Heyman's quote chosen fucking champion, and his security crew included the Basham brothers in riot gear.
Yep.
And fucking Test.
Yep.
And there was one other guy.
Bob Holly was also like fighting to.
I got an idea. Yep. Give me the world title and I'll beat everybody. Bob Holly story. That was a really bad title run, and it went for way too long.
But part of that title run too was panic because they had to get the title off of RVD because of getting pulled over with Pod and stuff. So I mean, that title run wasn't an original plan title run. So I feel like they were making the best that they could.
Just trying to bail out.
Right, exactly. Which you're like 14-man roster on Tuesday nights, and half of it was Kevin Thorne and different gimmicks. Like, right, like you can only do so much. But speaking of former WWE ECW talents, my answer here is a guy who lights the wrestling world on fire currently, at least in levels of popularity, especially if you're in Chicago. And he had left the WWE ECW brand to go to Raw and instantly cashed in his Money in the Bank, won the world title. Great segment. This is a classic segment. Go out of your way to see it. It was from 2008 when Batista destroys Edge, leaves him laying, and then the music hits. And it's not the music that we all know now. It's a different song. It was also awesome. I think like Avenged Sevenfold did it or someone like that. And out comes CM Punk. He cashes in his Money in the Bank. He wins the title. He has his first title reign in WWE. The title reign sucked. And I know we all remember CM Punk having the incredible 400 and yada yada day title reign where he went from face to heel to having Paul Heyman in his corner to fighting everybody, having all these great matches. That was amazing. This first reign where he defended it against the likes of JBL and I think Kane, and he eventually lost without ever even being in the match to lose the title. He was attacked by Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr. Legacy. He was attacked by them before the match and ruled out of the match and then replaced by Chris Jericho in the match.
Yep.
Who then eventually went on to win the title. So Punk wins the title basically on a fluke, as most Money in the Bank winners have, to be fair, but wins it on a fluke, defends it against basically, I'm not going to say nobody, because it's not like JBL wasn't a former champion at that point and big deal and stuff.
A wrestling god.
Something like that. But he defends it against not necessarily the greatest people. He doesn't have any memorable matches. And then he loses the belt without even being involved in the match. And this wasn't a case of, oh, he's injured, we got to get it off of him somehow or something. This was, creative was like, shit, we need to get the title off of this guy, and I guess we don't want to actually beat him. What can we do? I know. Just get him out of the fucking match. Like, just pretend he has no reason to be there. It's fine. That title reign sucked. That title reign was awful.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I hated Hulk Hogan's last title reign, 93. I fucking hated it.
You know that wasn't his actual last title reign. Is that because
I know he had 102, but that one where the Bret Hart fucking swerved with Zuna, and he loses to Zuna in the King of the Ring. I fucking hated that. And every year you get more and more away from that. I hate you more. Fucking.
But why did you hate it?
Fucking hated it.
But why?
Did he hold the title very long after he won it?
He won it at Mania. He lost to King of the Ring like a month and a half later.
I mean, it wasn't even a title reign.
That's what I'm saying. It was like 2 months. It was like fucking. It was stupid. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
It was him losing to an oversized heel because he does not lose to wrestlers. He did not want to drop the title to Bret Hart. He did not want to do business with Bret Hart.
Right.
So they put a Band-Aid on a bullet hole, got the title off him, and got him the fuck out of there.
I mean, yeah, that's accurate right there.
Bret was promised a match, and then fucking Hogan said later on, no, never mind.
You know, if we're talking about shitty title reigns, 1994 Bret Hart, who should have dropped the belt to Owen for at least a short reign at some point. Just the fact that he never actually dropped it to Owen, the fact that Owen never got a title reign during that time when that was the time, that was Owen's peak, that was the time where he should have been champion. The fact that that never happened, I think, puts Bret's reign in the kind of shitty department.
Too, also, like you really had a shitty roster as it was. Owen was one of the few people that stood out. Why wouldn't you not take a chance on that one?
Right, exactly. And you had the perfect opportunity.
Made no fucking sense. But hey, let's do it to Kevin Nash.
I mean, yeah.
How about
I feel like, for the record, I feel like Undertaker had a bunch of really non-eventful, non-great title reigns in like the mid-90s.
No, he had the only one that stood out was the one in '97. That's it.
Yeah. All the other times, it was just kind of like, oh yeah, look, Undertaker's champion.
He was just transitional.
I got a hot one for you guys. What about David Arquette? I got a hot one for you guys to discuss.
I'll put Orndorff's title reign somewhere.
Buddy, that guy was never good enough to win the world title. Here you go.
You hot one.
We're gonna go to the land of WCW.
There's a lot of bad ones in that fucking company.
I mean, yes.
Especially late 90s.
I'm going to talk about one that people probably don't think is a bad title reign, but I'm going to go there.
Go there.
Yep. The very first title run of one Bill Goldberg.
What makes you say that's a bad one?
So he beats Hogan at the Georgia Dome.
As soon as that bell rang, he was fucked because there wasn't another guy that he could out-wrestle.
I mean, facts.
He held the title to Starrcade that year against Nash.
No.
Yeah.
He didn't lose the title. He didn't lose the world title to Nash.
He did. Remember? Remember the
lost the undefeated streak to Nash. He didn't lose the world title to Nash.
That was a title match. That had to be a title match, right? Yeah. Because the streak was title reign.
I don't think that was a world.
No, that was a world title match because then Nash, like a week later, did Polka Doom and lost the title to Hogan.
Yeah.
I'm 100%
probably makes the title run even worse now.
Yeah. So basically that the
transitional champion, and he was a transitional champion in the dumbest way possible too.
So Nash's 1 week reign was shitty too, the worst one too.
Goldberg won it 2 days after the 4th of July and held it till that Starrcade.
And then lost it to Nash. Who lost it to Hogan like a week later.
January 3rd. Yeah.
It was the long way around to get the title back on Hogan.
And you know the funny part? They knew how bad his world title run was. They never gave Goldberg the WCW title ever again.
Yeah.
That's that part too also.
And I'm being logical that he wasn't that fucking good. They knew, and WWE still paying the guy to come to Saudi Arabia for him. Way to parlay a really shitty 100-day title run into like a 35-year career.
Did you guys think of Goldberg's first run in WWE from 03 when he did The Rock?
That was pretty bad.
Okay. I didn't watch much of it.
He had no desire to be there, and everybody had less desire to work with him.
Right.
Yeah, it showed.
Yeah. That reign sucked. I don't know if you mentioned this one. Rob Van Dam winning the title and his title run after.
I did not.
After the whole Cena thing.
In 06?
Yeah, because here's the thing. I compare that to Goldberg winning in the Georgia Dome. Like, if Goldberg lost in the Georgia Dome, that place would have rioted. If RVD would have lost in Hammerstein, that place would have rioted.
Mm-hmm.
But then
for real rioted.
But then the bell rang and the match was over, and then it was, what the fuck are we going to do with him now?
No, for nothing. I feel like a lot of guys' first title reigns tend to be kind of shitty or forgettable. Like Daniel Bryan's first title reign in WWE. When he cashed in Money in the Bank,
Dolph Ziggler
won the world title, feuded with the Big Show, and then went to WrestleMania and lost the belt in 30 seconds to Sheamus. Like that, where he had AJ Lee in his corner the whole time and everything. That was shitty. That
I
was
would
shitty
say-
reign.
It was awful.
I would agree with you on that, Joe. If we're talking about like 90s on, from the 90s on, like because Hogan's first title reign was actually really good.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely talking
Okay.
about like 90s.
And Savage too.
Okay,
Savage.
for every one Hogan, there's 13 fucking Goldbergs.
Yeah.
Right, but even Savage's first reign was good too.
For every one Randy Savage, there's
Right.
13 fucking Diesels.
But you get, but I'm saying my point is that what Joe was saying that you get a lot of that in the 90s.
Sure.
And even more
Because-
so in the 2000s. to be
Sure, you want
honest.
to know why? Because they started fucking defending the titles and
More.
giving the people more rather than holding them for 796 days.
Right.
Like Brett's first title reign is forgettable too.
Awful. That run is awful.
Beat Flair, and then nothing stands out really.
Up to fucking Owen, like he said, very from the very jump. Owen should have been the world champion right then and there.
Yep.
The only other time that would have made sense is when he was a member of the Nation of Domination, because he could have snuckily won the title while Rock was doing something different.
I actually like HBK's first reign though.
Oh, HBK's first reign was good. That I remember.
He with Vader. He feuded with British Bulldog, Vader,
Yeah.
Diesel one more time before he went to WCW, and then Sid.
Look, a lot of it is the guys that these guys get to go wrestle against,
Yep.
and then how they lose the belt.
Correct.
That is what it is. Like I said, look, Daniel Bryan winning the title, awesome. Then feuds with the Big Show. What?
Trash.
Then goes on to feud with Sheamus. Huh? Then loses to Sheamus in 30 seconds at WrestleMania. The fuck? Like, that's where we're at. CM Punk's first title reign, where he literally isn't even in the match when he loses the belt. Like, the way a title reign is a full story.
Mhm.
And the best title reigns, and we could do that as a topic sometime too, just like favorite title reigns.
Yeah,
Those are the ones where you see a full story. Okada's title reign, where he was champion for like 400 days or whatever, where like you literally watched him progress to the point where he was exhausted and he was beaten down and his body was worn out. And you were literally, every match he was defending against, you were like, is this the one? Is this the one where he loses it? Same thing with Nigel's title reign in Ring of Honor in like 2007. Those kinds of title reigns, or Punk's title reign when he had the really long one. I even honestly, to a degree, like your Kenny Omega title reign recently and stuff like that.
too. Kind of
No. I'm saying the opposite. Like, I feel like those title reigns where you have like a full story, where you have a beginning, a middle, and an actual end, those are great title reigns. These other title reigns that we're talking about, where it's like they put the title on the guy to be like, okay, let's give this a chance. And then a week later, they're like, we don't really know what we're doing. Just put him in the ring with JBL.
Chris Jericho's first title run.
Oh my God, Chris Jericho's first title run was trash. He wins the belt in the biggest way possible.
He beats Austin and Rock on the same night.
Right.
Becomes the first ever undisputed champion.
Huge.
And then gets into a feud where he's calling Stephanie McMahon an ass whore. But then she's in his corner the next week.
And then we all realize, oh, this was all just so Triple H could win the title at WrestleMania.
right. You know who had a good title reign? First one, this guy.
Bobby.
No. His first world title run was in ECW and was
and that was garbage.
Pretty garbage.
That was garbage. Yeah, no. His first world title run here in his comeback time in WWE.
I was gonna say his first world title
was Impact.
Yep.
And that wasn't very good either.
It was okay. It was serviceable.
Okay.
I can't believe Goldberg only had one title reign in WCW. Like wow.
What's happened when you go 937-0? I'm trying to think if there's any more before we boost Boogie.
That's what Joe loves.
Joe loves sleep. I didn't think of anything else for this week.
Oh my Lord, we'll skip it today then.
I was trying to think of the Quebecers, but just so I could say the Moscow.
Good Lord, if you got into tag title reigns, we'd be here all day.
Yeah, you want to go like maybe an IC title reign?
WWE specifically,
but nothing after 99, because everything after 99 is hot dick.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I'm saying before 99, anything before 99, we could have a civil debate about. Anything afterwards, you say that whole fucking division could steal.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember?
The belts that went to shit.
Well, do you remember for a while where it'd be like, here's the team that's the champions, here's the brand new team we're introducing that's the only other. It was like the New Japan tag division.
Yep.
Like we have one other tag team in the division, and guess who's gonna win the titles?
Any other title reigns that stand out?
For their
One day reign. That's not the first one anyway.
Vince Russo somehow giving himself the world title.
See, stuff like that, I don't actually.
No, that was Vince Russo just trying to stroke.
And like those things
That
are
one was
more
bad.
like bad decisions. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, Kane's first title reign where he held it for a night, because like honestly, those are story beats. Those aren't title reigns. A title reign to me, like you gotta have at least had a couple of defenses. You got to at least there has to be some kind of history there, like a couple of months or something, where it was just like, wow, this didn't work for those couple of months, you know? Where like the potential was there where it could have worked and then it just didn't.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Joe, you love sleep? That's it?
I do love sleep. I need more of it.
Okay. All right, last topic.